Welcome back to the strange side of my channel, which is all of my channel. I just noticed after just filming my outro and everything that I forgot to highlight my inner corner. What? Who am I? I cannot believe I forgot the inner corner. Who am I? I never forget the inner corner. Back to our intro now that my inner corner is highlighted. Welcome. Today we're doing a tutorial over this look right here. It's pretty simple, but it's very fun. I say very fun because it has a little bit of a twist to it. You can see I used some greens, not some colors I would normally pair together, but I kind of like it. I kind of like the way it turned out a little bit. I think it's fun, nice ease into spring a little bit. But again, welcome. I haven't seen you guys in a while. I know it's been crazy. I moved, things have happened. My last video was a vlog. A little bit of that included some of our new place. So if you're curious, you can go check it out there. I'm looking around the room now. I still have a ton of work to do. I'm nowhere near being moved in officially, but it's not bad, but I am loving it so far. The pets are loving it as well. And I think I'm gonna quit rambling, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. I don't even know exactly what I'm doing right now. Like, I don't even know like the colors. It's so weird sitting down to film. I'm so happy about it, but I feel like the camera needs to be right there. Like, I almost feel like you're in a weird spot. Like, I don't know. I'm first going to start with this. This is the Josie Maran Pure Argan Milk Hydrating Treatment. I've only used this one time and it was okay. It was okay. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I would also like to preference by saying I apologize for if the filming situation isn't the best. Like, this is the first time I'm sitting down to film at our new place and I didn't do a test run. Oh my gosh. It's okay. Like, I don't hate it. I think it gives more of a glow than it does moisturize. Like, you know, like, it's not bad, and it definitely does have moisture, but like, it's not like my Winky Lux hydrator by any means. And I definitely think if you had more like normal to slightly oily skin, maybe this would be really good, but for like the actual hydration. But it gives a beautiful glow. Like, that is a phenomenal glow on my skin, and I'm not mad at it. Like, I actually quite like the glow that it's giving. It's very nice. I probably wouldn't have bought it had I not gotten it as a gift. So for the actual primer, let me get a fuzzball out of my hair. I want to smooth this over some of the areas of my face that have a little bit more texture. This is the Winky Lux Whipped Cream Primer. I've used this before on my channel. I don't hate this product. Like, it's definitely more suited for people, I think, with oily skin or combo skin, or people with really big pores, because it is just like a smoothing primer. But on days like today, where I feel like my nose has a lot of the extra texture, it's nice to put it on. I feel like, obviously it mattified because it's more of a matte primer, but I think it makes my foundation just kind of slide on over top of it without becoming too much. Now, my opinion may have changed. I haven't used this in a hot minute, but that's what I remember liking about it, is that my foundation would just kind of glide over the top of it and it would be super, super smooth. It's very, very smooth, like very smooth. If you're looking for a really nice smoothing primer, this is really good. Like, it definitely gives a very smooth appearance to the skin, and even texture-wise, it's very similar to, and like what it does to the skin, to the e.l.f. Mineral Infused face primer. If you've tried that, I love that primer. It's one of my favorites. I've used it multiple times. Like I've used, I think 2 or 3 of them up. Like I really do like that primer. But this does a very similar thing to the skin, but it's more expensive. They're both technically drugstore, but this is, Winky Lux is a more expensive brand at the drugstore for sure. It's kind of up there a little bit with like Physicians Formula is a little bit more expensive at the drugstore too. So I'm not going to finish my face now. I know that kind of seems weird. Like why would you go in and prime and stuff? Really, because I want to see how that Josie Maran product applies or reacts with things when there's not, I guess, immediate application. I also need to do my eyes first. So for that, I'm actually going to go into the Too Faced Shadow Insurance 24-Hour Eyeshadow Primer. I think this is the first time I'm using this on camera. My sister bought this, and she actually bought a few things in this bin today. My sister bought this, and this thing is huge, first off. Like, it's massive. It's huge. Like, this is it next to a standard liquid lipstick. Like, it's massive. I like this so far. Like, I like it. Is it revolutionary? No. But like, has it taken my Lorac favorite away? No. I just need to use this a little bit more to form like a true opinion about it. Like, my thoughts on this, like, I like it. It's definitely not something that I need to form like a full opinion on, because I do like it. But I think if you don't love a sticky eye base, but you want something that'll help make the shadow last, but it's not super sticky, this would be a really good alternative. It does have a little bit of pigment, as you can see, but it's not too much by any means. It's a little much on that doe foot. It does come out on a doe foot, which I like. I like having the doe foot applicator because it makes it really easy to, as I say, as I get it everywhere, not get it everywhere. But I don't know if it truly makes shadows last like super long. I've used this, like I said, a few times, and every time like my shadows looked fine with it, but like I don't know if it's like super long lasting or anything. I don't know if it's worth the price tag. I do like it, and that's why I'm trying it out a little bit more. I think I just need to form a more, you know, based opinion about it, because it's not bad. It's just, I don't know if it's all that in a bag of chips, you know what I'm saying? Next, we are going with the Morphe James Charles palette. Mine is absolutely filthy on the front, as you can see here. This has been discontinued. As you guys know, on my channel, I don't mind using discontinued products because people out there have them, including myself, and this is what I have. And it's not hard, especially nowadays, to get a product or a color that is similar. Now, I know people are gonna say about me having this palette, I bought this palette years ago to do a review on it, which I did that review. It's very cringe, but you can definitely go see it if you want. This is what it looks like. And I kept it because it was pretty good. So that is the reason behind that. If it's good makeup, it's good makeup. That is the reasoning there. So I'm gonna first go in with Punch Me, which is this shade right here. It's a very, I would say like a light beige tan color. It's definitely not super dark. I think I wanna get a little mirror up here. It's definitely not super dark. But that's kind of like what I'm looking for right now. Like that's kind of what I want for the bases. As you guys also are aware, or maybe you're not aware, maybe this is my first time telling you, if you've never been here before, and I cannot find my color switch for the life of me. I don't know where it is. This entire makeup series, or like this portion of it. Caitlin actually picked the colors out. She actually picked the palette, she kind of picked the colors, and I get to kind of use them however I please, which is pretty exciting because it took away from me having to do it. And I think that she came up with some really unique color like combinations that I normally would not have thought of. Some of them haven't been my favorite, I'll be honest, but you know, that's kind of the whole point of this. As for the James Charles palette and Morphe's eyeshadow formula in general, it's not bad. Morphe's formula, I have not tried anything recent by Morphe in a while actually. But the formula isn't bad. I don't think it's necessarily my favorite in the entire world by any means, but it's not bad. Like, it's good, it's not bad, it's definitely usable. The James Charles palette was very, very popular when it launched. That was like the it palette. That was the girl that everybody wanted to have. And I think part of it was because of the drama circulating it. If you were on the internet in that time, you know all about it. But also because it really truly had like every color that people would ever need. You know, like it kind of had a little bit of everything in it. And I think that's why it became so popular, but it has been duped now a few times. I know Wet n Wild have one, which I think might still be available. I'm not actually sure. Now I'm going to go in with the shade T, which is this one right here. It's just like a, it's kind of what you think. I think the lights are washing it out just a smidgen. Does that change anything? Did that change anything? I think it did a little bit. It's kind of like a, I would say it's like a traditional brown. You watch any person who films a video with dogs, that always happens. Always happens. I'm gonna put that right in my crease. Slowly bringing it in. I wanna create depth, but I don't wanna make it too closed off because I kind of have hooded eyes. And what are you barking at, darling? I want to go into this shade, which kind of spooks me. No pun intended. Spooky, which is the black. It's a matte black in here. If you have been on my channel for a while, I know I haven't really uploaded much in the last year, but I'm not huge into black eyeshadow. I do like it, I do use it. I prefer a matte deep brown. I prefer brown against my eyes. For some reason, I just think it looks better. But we're going with black today. I also feel like when I use black eyeshadow, it really emphasizes that my eyes are two different shapes. As I find a brush, this is a new brush actually, with the shade called Wig. I keep looking at the name sheet because I don't actually know the name's Wig, which is this one right here. It is kind of like an antique-y gold color. That's how I would describe that. I'm not crazy about that shade. I think like it's more of like a, like it almost looks like a topper. There it is swatched. Like it's pretty, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not like what I was expecting. So good is the shade right here. It's a little bit lighter than that one, but that's the one that I just went in with, and it worked a lot better. Not crazy about that wig color. Egg! We have been joined Buying eggs, Benny.
Come here. You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi? No, you don't wanna say hi. You don't wanna say hi. Here you go.
My desk is L-shaped before anybody thinks I just threw them in the floor. I'm sitting on one side and I just put them on the other. Most of my cats are in here, but none of them are actually on the desk. Oh, we have a Hazel now.
Hazel.
And Eggs is still here too. Hazel? Hazel doesn't like being picked up, so I won't pick her up. I still do, but I'd have to hold her at a really weird angle for you guys to see her, and I don't want to freak her out. So, we're not doing that. All right, that's the look so far. I'm hoping when I put everything else on, it kind of comes together a little bit more. Again, not crazy about that wig color. It's more of a disappointment, I think, than anything. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put that aside. I'm gonna put on this. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Porcelain. I'm using this because I need to form like a professional opinion about it, like an actual opinion about this product. It's okay from what I remember, but I also remember not being totally in love with it. And like, I just need to really find foundations that I truly, truly love, and you know, just keep those, maybe keep a little bit of the others too for like video purposes. Things like that. My camera's like a little slightly curved, but I don't want to keep products that I truly just don't want to use anymore, like things that I'm not wanting to use. Like I still am going to have a pretty large collection because I love having different options and I love using different things in videos and things like that, but I want to have products that I actually enjoy using. And when I look at my foundation drawer, this just isn't one that I want to reach for, and that's a big indicator that either I need to keep trying it or I just don't love it. And I think it's part of a little bit of both. Like, I just need to keep using it a little bit more to form like a true opinion on it. Yeah, it's just not my favorite. Like, it looks, I don't know. I'm gonna finish blending it out and seeing if that helps a little, because right now it's just not it. And I know like that color looks like it wouldn't work, but like it really does. Like, that's really like what my skin color actually is. But yeah, as you can see behind me, this little thing on the window, I think you guys can see it there. That is a bird feeder. It is empty because of the storms. We've had several storms. Like last Friday, we had a bunch of tornadoes and high winds, like 70-mile-per-hour winds. Today, it's the same type of situation. So I didn't refill the bird feeder because it's been empty since before last Friday, but I knew that big storm was gonna come in, so I just didn't refill it. And I'm gonna wait to refill it until after this week when all these storms kind of subside a little bit. So if you're wondering like what that thing is that's just hanging out in the window, it's a suction cup bird feeder for my cats so they can watch birds, and they love it. They love it, they love it, they love it. I think Caitlin and I actually might like it more than they do because we get excited when there are birds in the window. I think more than they do. And just really fun to like have, because at our old place we didn't have them, and where we lived there was like nowhere to put them. We didn't really have a balcony, if you guys remember that, and we didn't have a patio, if you remember that, and we just didn't have the room for it. So now that we have this space to actually have like a bird feeder, it's quite exciting. I'm quite happy about that. And again, so far, everyone loves it. And we did put up some window like clings too, so the glass is now essentially turned into one-way glass, so the cats can see out, the birds can't see in. So it's kind of like a win-win for everybody. As for that foundation, I don't think it looks bad. Definitely not terrible. Like, it's not terrible. Ooh, it's not terrible. I don't know why I remember it looking way, way worse than this, but I'm gonna add a little bit more coverage to some areas, I think. Not much, because I don't mind when my skin shows through underneath. Like, I know some people are all about that full mask type of look. And there's nothing wrong with that look. It's just not my look. Like, that's not my preference. And I prefer a full coverage foundation that's more of like a natural to full. Like, that's kind of where my preferences lie. And is this my favorite? No. But is it terrible? Also no. Like, it's just not, it's not bad. It's not bad. I do think it looks a little dry, which could be that primer as well mixed with it. Maybe it's just, this isn't the dewy one, this is just the normal one. So it could just be that the primer just isn't moisturizing enough for a product like this. But it's not terrible. It's not terrible. My face does feel slightly sticky. Y'all know I don't love a sticky base. I just don't like it. I don't know what it is. Some people are not bothered by like a sticky foundation base, but I don't. I want my foundation to dry down. I don't want it to stay sticky. It's not my favorite. And my eyebrow is so itchy. This is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Tan Lines. I don't know if I've used this on camera or not. Have I? I truly don't know. I used this the other day. Again, the other day. I've used it a few times. And I like it so far. I like it a lot better with this brush, which is a little bit fluffier of a brush than what I normally use powder product or cream products with. It's more of like a powder like brush for me. But I just really like the way that it blends out with this brush. It's just so effortless, and this brush is slightly too big for this jar, just slightly. But I do really like the way that this bronzer blends out with this brush, and I have several of these brushes. This is just a Wet n Wild. I think it's called a blush brush. I truthfully don't know what it's called. It doesn't have a name on it. It just says Wet n Wild on it. But I know that you can get this at like Dollar General, CVS, Dollar Tree, places like that. I think maybe even Walmart, maybe Target. I'm not sure about Target. But I really like the way that this cream blended out with this brush. Like, I just really, really like it. I think cream bronzers really took over 2022. Like, that was the it product. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh in the shade Fair 10N. This is a product that I am not 100% sure about. I honestly am not sure if I like this product or not. I don't know. It has the same like paint scent as the Photo Focus does, but I'm not 100% sold on the ColourPop concealer. I know it's like so many people's favorite, but I personally just don't know how I feel about it. It's not bad, but it's definitely not one that I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to use that. Like, you know, it's just kind of meh. I feel like it makes my under eyes look dry, and I'm not crazy about that. It does settle, like every concealer ever pretty much settles on me because I have fine lines under my eyes, but it makes my under eyes look dry. Laura Mercier, I'm not entirely sure exactly how you say that. I've heard it both ways. Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is also a newer product to me. Not sure I've used this on camera either. Not sure how I feel about this either. This though has a higher rating than the ColourPop concealer does. Like, it's nice. It definitely is very finely milled. So if you have lines, this is really finely molded. It does set really, really nicely. The only reason I'm iffy on it, is because I feel like in some places it can emphasize dry patches, but it is a loose powder. That is kind of like what they do a little bit. But other than that, this has a pretty high rating for me. I do understand why it's so popular and why it's so many people's like favorite, because it really does set your makeup. Like I wore this the other day to work and I used this to set where my glasses would sit. And I think I just got some in my eye. And it did not budge, like hardly at all. I mean, eventually it did because I'm obviously wearing glasses and top of makeup and like, yeah, but it was nowhere near as bad as it could have been. And I also think that it does a really good job of not looking too matte. Like I know it can emphasize dryness and it can, you know, do that, but it doesn't look too matte. I mean, obviously it's a matte powder. It's gonna look matte, but I feel like it doesn't look too matte. Oh, I was gonna cream contour, but it's too late for that. Oops. So I'll just use the powder in here. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Contour Book Volume 2. I'll just use the sculpting powder. I was gonna use sculpting cream, but I forgot. So we're just gonna use the powder. I'm gonna take this is the Juvia's Place Bronzed Palette in Light. Looks like this. I have been thoroughly enjoying this. I'm gonna take this shade right here and just bronze up a little bit. I know we cream bronzed, but I feel like when you set it, it does kind of disappear a little bit because, you know, obviously I set it, and I like to emphasize cream products a little bit. I will use a cream and then I'll put a powder over top. But in doing that, you have to make sure you don't go too heavy. But I think these two products work really well together. The e.l.f. and the Juvia's Place, I think they work really well together. This product, like I said, I do really like. I really like Juvia's Place. And I really like this bronzer duo. Like I can use both shades. One's more of a contour on me and the other one's more of a bronzer. But I can use both. They both blend beautifully. They're both comfortable. I don't find that they're patchy, and I don't find that they kind of emphasize dryness, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna put a little bit of bronzer on my neck because I obviously just bronzed my face. So now it's a slightly different color than my neck. Blush, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio, and I'm going in with the shade Rose right here. I've used this on my channel before. I'm a big fan of this as well. I think every product I've ever tried by ABH except for the Subculture palette, I've liked. Like everything else, pretty sure I've liked. Like I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that I just haven't liked. If there is another product, I'm sure by the time I go to edit this, I'll be like, girl, it's this. But I really like this blush palette or trio. I have 2 of them and I will buy all of them if I could. Like I love it. And I am putting it on the apple of my cheeks and blending back. I know not too many people apply blush like that anymore. A lot of people start back here and blend forward. I kind of do the opposite. I'm going to use the Milani Make It Last setting spray. This was like all over YouTube a few years back. I think I'm the last person on this bandwagon. Oh, it smells nice. That's a bonus. I wasn't expecting that. And then I got this little fan from Dollar Tree to help dry my setting spray faster. Because I feel like this really helps. I know usually I tell you what I'm doing before I do it, but I just got off the phone from Mama. So I took the shade, what is that called, Daddy? Yeah, Daddy, which is this dark green, and I put that on my lower lash line. I'm going to blend that out. The second I find a brush that I think is suitable for doing this task. You maybe? Nah, I think that might be a little bit too big. Want something slightly smaller. I'm gonna take the shade Social Blade, which is the brighter green, and kind of blend that out a little bit. I forgot to do a wing. Oh my gosh. I even said I forgot to grab a liquid liner and I still forgot. That is so frustrating. So I guess no wing for us today. Could I still technically do it? Yes. But like I literally cannot do a wing on top of foundation. Like I swear it just, something interferes with my brain and it's like, we suddenly don't know how to use our hands. So I'm just not going to. I'm still gonna put falsies on, so it may be a mistake. So I'm gonna apply the Sephora collection Lit Up lashes. There's nothing really special about these, truthfully. They're just kind of like a pair of lashes. So I'm gonna do that and also apply the Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume Mascara. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so definitely skipping a wing was a bad idea because you can see the gap between my actual lashes and where my falsies are sitting, but we're here already. Now, I think I'm going to go in with this. This is the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Canopy. Put that in my waterline. My eyes water like crazy. So as I'm crying, because my eyelashes, and quickly do my eyebrows with the Benefit Precise in my brow pencil in the shade 3.5. I am not in love with this brow pencil, I've established. The ColourPop Cream Gel Liners, I love, but this, I've just learned about myself that I am like, I think the minority when it comes to the super small brow pencil. I wanna use this so bad. I haven't used it. I've swatched it. Shut up. Shut up. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. I cannot express to you how much it's bothering me that I can see the gap between my natural lashes and the falsies. All right, now lipstick is the Steel Liquid Lipstick in the shade Biscotti. We're gonna ignore the fact that my lip line is crooked as hell, okay? We're gonna ignore that and pretend that it's not. All right, everyone, and that is it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that the lighting situation was decent enough. Like I said, this is my first time filming in this space and I need to figure things out first, you know, and the storm outside definitely clearly didn't help. And yes, I'm still wearing a t-shirt because it's comfortable and it's raining and I don't feel like not wearing a t-shirt. So that is what we're still doing over here. I did not change. But again, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry that it was a little bit longer. Most of my videos are pretty long, but again, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of feedback on some of these products that I have been trying and things that I just need to update you guys on. I have a really bad habit of saying I'll update you guys on YouTube, and I never do. It's usually on Instagram. But again, that's listed down below. I say that all the time, but make sure you subscribe before you leave for more nonsense and stutterness and whatever just happened out of my mouth. And I will see you guys in the next one. Kind of like what we're left with. Blue?